Welcome to a tier list video. I love making these videos. It's just really fun to rank and see where things go. This is standard S, A, B, C, D. We're ranking all of McQueen's paint jobs throughout the movies. Now, this is not going to be tedious things. We're not going to see just McQueen with a tar splotch on him here, We're not going to see McQueen with some added details like dirt, none of that stuff. This is just raw design overhaul based paint jobs we have seen throughout the entire trilogy. So these are the main ones that stand out from the others, and we're just gonna rank them now. Disclaimer, I'm only allowed, this is a rule I'm putting for myself, I'm only allowed 3 maximum per tier list. So only 3 can go in S, 3 can go in A, and then, yada yada. So we're gonna get straight into this because you guys are going to find out what I think the best McQueen paint job is. First, we have Cars 1 Lightning McQueen, the one that started it all, the original classic paint job. Not only is it an original classic paint job, I actually think this paint job just overall works so well for McQueen. I like the lightning bolt, how it goes from a yellow to a burnt orange. That's really just awesome. I like the nice tone of red as well. I like when it's a more shinier red, but it's cool just to have it classical sometimes. I think it really works with Lightning McQueen here. So I'm gonna put this one in S tier from the get-go. I just think this one, obviously, this is not even just nostalgia. This is not just like, oh, it's the OG classic one. I just think the design really works. I just like the simplicity, doing just enough without doing a little too much, not being crowded in some areas. I think the design overall blends really well. It really just screams Lightning McQueen to me, more so than some of these other designs, even though every single one is Lightning McQueen. Next, we have Primer McQueen. Now, this one, not much to say about this one. For storytelling purposes, I really like it. It was cool to kind of just see bare metal. This is basically just, you're stripped of any sort of paint job, but it's still, for design purposes, it stands out, so it's on the tier list. I'm probably going to put this one, for now, in B. I'm thinking of like a middle ground here because obviously there's nothing to go off of too much. The red wheels though are a nice contrast, and he still has the 95 in red on his side, not shown in this photo. But Primer McQueen isn't just a flat gray, it has some multicolor going on because that's what happens with bare metal. Bare metal is very differently toned because it's bare, not like actual like finished paint. B tier I think is fair for now without seeing where I'm putting these other ones. But warning, he might go lower. Next, we have World Grand Prix McQueen, the one that, the TikTokers will glaze forever. I mean, to be fair, it's a really nice design. It's the only one here that has a wing, not the spoiler type. And I really do like that. 2 things. This is the first McQueen that actually introduces actual headlights and not stickers on him. And this is the first one of 2 where you have the lightning bolt that transitions into a flame. I really like that design. You can almost put this one hand in hand too to Radiator Springs Team McQueen from the shorts, but we're not counting the shorts, just doing the movies here. And they're very similar. It's just that one has Radiator Springs buildings as sponsors, doesn't have All in All World Grand Prix, obviously, because corruption. So here we have, I'm gonna put this one in A. I think A is a very fair shout because I really like how high-tech it makes McQueen look. I like the upgrades to him, and I love the Hudson Hornet Piston Cup logo just slapped on the hood because that's something that you see from the next one we're going to get into, but this one just emphasizes it more. It's not like a subtle little logo detail. Like this one just, I like how prominent it is on his hood. Like it stands out, it wants you to see it, and I think that's really good. This McQueen, funnily enough, from the diecast line, I know people got tired of it over the years. This is the 1 year that they did not put it in the main line. It is out in a 5-pack though, if you follow the diecast line. So we have World Grand Prix McQueen in A. I think that's a pretty fair place to put him, but the design really is good. It works. It really just shows McQueen when he was at the peak of his powers, when he was enjoying racing to the fullest, when he was in his, I hate using this word, but prime years. Okay, that out the way. Next we have Hudson Hornet Piston Cup Lightning McQueen. This one also was the only other one you saw in Cars 2. This was at the very beginning. Think of this as the Cars 2 version of Rusty's McQueen. the one at the very end here from Cars 3. They're like the parallel of each other. Although this one, spoiler alert, is the cooler design of the two in my opinion. I'm gonna put this one up in A as well. I actually really like how the thin lightning bolt kind of comes out from behind the 95. That's a really cool detail. I like the Hudson Hornet Piston Cup logos on the side. I also like the ghost flame lightning bolt they had going on behind the 95. It's kind of like an outlier of a lightning bolt, but it really works. I also like how the sponsors, there's only 3 of them, and it's just kind of on this bottom, so very subtle, but they're there. It's actually something I prefer over just Cars 1 McQueen with all the sponsors, just, you know, like a sheet of paper, even though it makes sense. But we're talking about preferences. We're not talking about what makes sense. So I'd say Hudson Hornet Piston McQueen might just be the most underrated McQueen design. I will go that far. I think it's really awesome. I like how it just, you know, we have that McQueen design to kind of represent what happened in between just being a rookie and then the Rusty's McQueen design from Cars 3 where he was old. So let's just put it in A tier for now. I probably am still going to put it behind World Grand Prix McQueen though, because I just think that one does more to stand out. Next we have Cars 3 Lightning McQueen. This is like the Cars 3 parallel to World Grand Prix McQueen, especially with the lightning bolt going into a flame design. They were going for this McQueen kind of being a mixture of Cars 1 McQueen's design and the World Grand Prix design. I like it. It's nice and simple. This is the one that you see in a bunch of just marketing, you know, the Disney Parks animatronic uses this design. Cars on the Road, at the beginning, you use this design. It's like the default McQueen design. The Racing Academy, when it was still around, used this design. I like it. I do like the number below the headlight. That's a cool touch. Just has Rusty's on the hood. So a racer design, obviously. Most of these are racer designs. And I just really like the mixture. I actually like it as like a hybrid between Cars 1 and Cars 3. So for that, it works. But I think there's just better designs out here. And considering I need to put like 3 per tier, I think I'm gonna put this one high B, because I just know there's other ones that are gonna go higher, and like another one that I think in another world it would go in A, but because I'm restricted to 3, I'm just gonna put it high B. Next we have Dino McQueen. This is the second ever McQueen design that you see in the entire franchise. This one obviously kind of is a weird case because you don't see it on screen. It's just in McQueen's daydream, but it gets the job done. It's not supposed to be over the top. When you're envisioning yourself as something, you're not gonna have the finer details. It's more so just a base blueprint palette of just, okay, let's just get the basics out the way. You have a Dino logo, you have Dino blue, you call it a day, you know? Now, I know my channel is literally branded a Dino. I love Dino. Like, Dino is what I branded my channel around. I absolutely love the sponsor. In terms of McQueen's designs, I'm not gonna like let that bias me, obviously. It's still a cool design. It's not one of the worst at all. But I just think other ones clearly just do more, and that's simply because they actually happened. Versus Dino McQueen just being in a daydream, where things just had to be simple. Nothing more, but simple enough to get to the point. So Dino McQueen, I think, is going to go in B solidly. I will put it above Primer McQueen, though, but after Cars 3 McQueen. It's a cool design. It's a nice alternate reality where you see what could have been. Maybe if he did not care about the king at all, this is what would have happened. But he cared about the king, obviously, and thankfully. Next, we have Rusty's Racing Center Lightning McQueen. This is the paint job you see him majorly in Cars 3. And technically it's not paint, it's a wrap that's just suited for his body, but still counts. And then we have this one being a more metallic, reflective shine of red. It's the first one we have come across so far. This is basically them trying to make him look like he fits in with the next gens, that metallic, some gold foliage, some of the text like going on a diagonal, and Rusty's like going from like thin, and then once you get to like the E's, it like shortens and gets thinner. They were really trying to go for that raw next gen effect on this guy, which I don't mind. I actually think this is a really cool design, as basic as it is. It doesn't have like itty bitty add-on things, you know, like it has the lightning bolt still, and it has his roof edge signatures, but doesn't, you know, obviously have other things. Would you call this a racing design? I would call it a training design personally. Like, he was never gonna race with this, obviously. You can't, it's a wrap. But yeah, I think it was still really cool. It was nice to see McQueen in a different shade of red too. I will appreciate that. I'm gonna put him probably in B though. I'd say above Dino McQueen and above Cruisin McQueen. Just. And unfortunately, Pyro McQueen is gonna move down to C tier. Next, we have Cruisin Lightning McQueen. Now, this one is probably in my top 3 easy. I'm just gonna put this immediate S tier. What I love about this design, it's the only one where he doesn't have a spoiler or a wing, makes him feel very retro and classical. I love the white walls. The white walls absolutely pop on McQueen. And honestly, if he didn't have those white walls, I think he'd be lower. I can't speak. Those white walls just do some magical powers, and it's one of the best designs immediately. It stands out. I love the white oval with the thin lightning bolt. That looks sick. And then again, another McQueen with that nice metallic red paint. Looks amazing. Like, come on, this McQueen just feels so classical. It fits in with the townies, fits in with Radiator Springs, old school. I love it. I absolutely love this McQueen. And a cool detail too is that he does have the bumper stickers still that he got from Lizzie. I don't know how exactly Ramon didn't paint over that, but probably just took them off, right? So Cruisin McQueen definitely going in S tier, and I would even put this above the original Lightning McQueen design. I really would. Next, we have Chester Whipple Filter McQueen. Unfortunately, I mean, in terms of McQueen designs, this one kind of just by default, probably going to be the worst one. I know it served its purpose. It's a storytelling design. I get it. He's in disguise. You can call him shit McQueen if you want. Obviously, just a bunch of mud all over him. It does have a number on the side, which is a 95, because he's not trying to look like Lightning McQueen. And yeah, it's just a him with a bunch of mud on it, but I guess it was a racer design. It's like him in a racer design. So I'm just gonna count it as a alternate design, like an actual design overhaul. So it's going on the list. I think it's notable enough. I feel like people would have said something too if I didn't put this on the list. Chester Whipple Filter McQueen though is definitely gonna go and see, because just there's not much going on with him. He's even lesser than Primer McQueen, because at least Primer McQueen had the red wheels, you know. The bear still was kind of a cool idea. This is literally just a shit colored McQueen with 15 on the side. Like I said, for storytelling wise, I get it. I don't mind it. I like it for storytelling, just in terms of personal preferences of designs, and especially what he's being compared to. Yeah, he's only got one fate. I'm sorry. Next, we have Radiator Springs McQueen. We're going to go on the opposite end of the spectrum for this guy. This guy, I'm just going to come out and say it, S tier. He is, in my opinion, the best McQueen design from any of the movies. I love how he's a hybrid of these two right here. I mean, were you guys going to expect anything else? This guy's basically a hybrid of my two other favorites, Cruisin McQueen and just regular McQueen. You have the combination of both. It's like a racer McQueen while also being a Radiator Springs McQueen. I mean, it's in the name, but you have the oval with the lightning strike from Cruisin McQueen. Obviously, the tires are just like your tires. You still have his rusty sponsors. You have the spoiler. I also like how the 95 is in like a circle on the top. Makes it feel more on a retro scale. And I do love how he is that metallic red, 'cause I just think it works for this design. We also know this design really well from Cars Made International and Made in the Ghost Light, which, fun fact, that's actually where this cutout is from. It's from the store. It's not even from the movie. But it's just such a cool design. I've always just been a huge fan of this McQueen design. Like, if I was stuck with one McQueen design for eternity, it would be Radiator Springs McQueen, because I just think you get the best of both worlds. You got the racing side and you get the Radiator Springs side. Combine them into one. Chef's kiss. Next, we got Fabulous Lightning McQueen. This is the very last one you see in any of the trilogies. Very end of Cars 3 in the epilogue and throughout the end credits in those picture frames that you saw. This one, I think I'm going to put in the back of A tier. Obviously, I really love it by default for just being a homage to Doc Hudson. That makes sense. The dark blue, the fabulous Hudson Hornet type of blue, weirdly works. I also love how he kept the rims red. That's such a cool contrast. On the side, it says Fabulous Lightning McQueen in the same style and everything. On the back, it says for Doc Hudson. This is just a really nice design that I wish that we saw beyond the epilogue. Like, maybe this should have popped up in Cars on the Road. Maybe it should have popped up in the Racing Academy. Who knows? But this design, I just think, I know you could say it's temporary, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like this design needed just some more exposure, but it was so good while it lasted. I just loved seeing it, and it just completes the full arc of McQueen's character that was built since Cars 1. Next, you have Rusty's Lightning McQueen, the last one, by the way. This is the one you see at the very beginning of Cars 3. Now, from the get-go, I want to say I actually do like how this McQueen has Rusty's worded out in a very 3D style versus just being the logo, because it fit really nicely with the other stock cars. That's kind of what a lot of the design choices were for the stock cars. They were very worded out and they were like 3D, so they had depth. They weren't just flat on the paint. They had so much shadow and like just depth, so they almost like popped out at you. That's what I really like about this McQueen in terms of matching with those. If I'm comparing him though to like a bunch of McQueens, I think he just about falls short. I think the lightning bolt is less interesting than even the Cars 1 lightning bolt. And it's still a cool design. I do like it. We didn't get to see too much of it at the end of the day because the beginning of Cars 3 is hella rushed. That's a topic for another day. But I get it, it served its purpose, but again, maybe we didn't even need to see this, because maybe we could have just carried over this McQueen, although I get Hudson Hornet Piston Cup wasn't a thing in Cars 3, but the design's cool. Like, I even like the Cars 2 opening design more than the Cars 3 opening design, but it's still a nice design. I just think when it stacks up with these other McQueens, though, it just kind of falls flat, in my opinion. But the one thing that really does carry it for me is the Rusty's text being worded out, because it's nice, it's refreshing, it's a change of pace, and I get it. But unfortunately, because we're only doing 3, I'm gonna have to put him at the top of C. Definitely better than Primer and Chester Whip Filter McQueen, because there's more going on. You do also see him crash in his paint job. That's very iconic. So if you want some scenes to like also hold the weight of some of these designs, maybe, if they're very memorable and iconic enough. This McQueen though, I think C is fair, just compared to everything else. I just think that's what works for him. So yeah, that's my complete tier list. Let me know what you guys would have done in context to, 3 maximum, so you don't have a bunch of paint jobs going in too many tiers. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what other tier lists you want me to tackle, because I love doing these type of videos. I definitely want to do more, because sometimes I don't even know what I think until I sit down and I analyze it myself. So until that next one, peace out.